Hello, welcome to Apexy. It's Ifoma here. Today we are going to make authentic Nigerian meat pie. It is rich, it is full of flavor. If you're interested, please keep on watching. This meat pie is prepared in 2 steps. First, we make the fillings and then we make the dough. For the fillings, we need potatoes, onions, garlic, carrots, beef, salt, stock cube, chili powder, curry powder, thyme and oil. The meat we need is the one that looks like this. No tendons, no ligaments. To mince the meat by hand, get your chopping board and the sharpest knife you have. Cut the meat to pieces like this and then mesh with the knife. It won't take more than 5 minutes to get this done and over with. But if you want to skip this process entirely, you can get already minced meat from any grocery store around you, or even corned beef. I've used that a lot of times. Or you could do this in a blender. Just cut the meat to pieces to help your blender. And then pour a little water, add the garlic and blend. Now this is what we have. The one I did with the blender, and this is by hand. Now it's time to dice the carrot and the potatoes. Just cut it into strips to make it easier and then dice. Please note that the quantity of fillings I'm making now would make at least about 20 medium-sized meat pie. So I would use the one I need and then reserve the rest in the freezer. For the potatoes, after dicing it, it needs to be blanched. To do this, pour it in a pot and boil it for like a minute or 2 at most. And then pour it out in a sieve and pour cold water over it to prevent the heat from cooking it further. We've prepared all we need for the fillings. This flour is like a tablespoon. I'm going to mix it with water to thicken the fillings. In a saucepan or in a small pot, add the oil, the onions and stir a little. Then add the minced meat and separate with your spoon to avoid curdling. The meat is just like a lump, and if you skip this, it will surely curdle. Now add 1 stock cube and thyme. Add salt, the chili, and stir. Remember we blended the garlic with the meat, but if you did that separately, now is the time to add it. Keep stirring and separating the meat to avoid curdling. The meat should take about 3 minutes or at most 5 to cook. When the meat is cooked, add the veggies, the carrots and the potatoes, and then stir for about a minute. Add the remaining stock cube, and then at this point, add the curry powder. Now to thicken the sauce, add about a 1/4 cup of water to the flour we reserved earlier and mix. Add it bit by bit to the sauce until it is finished. If you find that the sauce is too thick after you've exhausted the flour and the water mixture, please just add a little more water, enough to allow the sauce to simmer for like 2 minutes. Then cover the pot and allow to simmer for 2 minutes, and then our meat pie filling is ready. Allow this to cool completely before use. Now for the dough, we need flour, cold butter, nutmeg, salt, cold egg yolk and cold water. This is short crust pastry. And in order to get the best results, all the liquid ingredients ought to be cold. To a bowl, add the flour, the salt, the nutmeg, and stir. Now add the butter and rub in with the tip of your fingers until the mixture looks like breadcrumbs. Now add the egg yolk and the water and mix gently. This dough requires gentle mixing. Just keep packing the flour together until it forms a ball. The filling is completely cooled, and I've taken the quantity I need for the amount of dough that I made. This dough will make about 6 medium-sized meat pies. Cut out a little piece like this and roll out flatly. At this point, I already put on my oven. It is preheating and getting set for the meat pie. Now, I'm going to use a meat pie cutter for this. This meat pie cutter can be gotten in shops where they sell baking accessories. It comes in a set of 4 or 5 different sizes. Now place the cut out dough on top where you have the designed edges. Apply a little egg whites on the edges of the dough to enable it to seal properly. Then place the filling that we prepared, just a tablespoon is okay, and then close like this. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. It will help me grow. Thank you. I'm going to sprinkle a little flour to minimize the dough sticking to my work surface. Another way to do this is to place a round shaped plate over the dough and trace it with a knife, and then apply the egg whites to the edges, scoop in the filling, and then seal with a fork. Notice that I don't place the filling exactly in the middle of the dough. I move away a little from the center so that when I place the other half over it, it will sit perfectly. The dough I made here makes 6 medium-sized meat pies. But if you want more or less than that, please adjust the measurement of your ingredients according to the recipe. You can find the detailed recipe in the description box below. Please make this for your loved ones. Instead of buying them in fast foods, you can make it at home. You can even prepare the fillings just like we did today and store in the freezer. The dough can also be made ahead of time and stored in the freezer. Now the meat pies are ready to go into the oven. Just arrange them on a baking tray with a lined paper. Then egg wash. Just apply little egg whites over the pies. This is what gives it that beautiful golden brown color. Now bake for about 20 to 25 minutes or until it is golden brown. This can also be baked in a pot on the stove. Just place your tripod in the pot and preheat. Then place an aluminum foil over it, and then in goes the meat pie. Bake until it is golden brown. The meat pies are ready. Aren't they beautiful? Homemade is always the best. You can't compare. At least you determine what goes into what you eat. You decide what you want and what you don't want. You can even make this more of a vegetable pie. Thank you so much for stopping by. See you in my next video.